Okay, let's call the order of September 20th, 2022 Village Board meeting this morning. This meeting is being conducted both in person and remotely. For the record, this is Village President Mark Zula, and I am currently at our regular meeting location, Roscoe Village Hall. Provisions have been made to allow elected officials, village staff, and members of the public to participate remotely if necessary. As always, any action taken tonight will be conducted by roll call vote. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I will now ask all those present to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Given the audio delay issues, we will ask everyone participating remotely to please keep their microphone on mute for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Always nice with a group of people. We got a nice echo of it. All right, item 2, roll call. Our clerk is unable to participate this evening. As I said, Joe Perlinkus is going to fill in for her. Joe, would you please call the roll? And for the trustees joining us remotely, please acknowledge that you can hear the proceeding.
Dunn. Here. Gustafson.
Here.
Keen. King.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Malaco.
Here.
Patty.
Here.
Black.
Here.
Zula.
Item 4, public comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard on our public comment this evening? If there are any members of the public logged into the meeting this evening that wish to speak, please unmute your phone or microphone, state your name and address, and as always, limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you are out there remotely, if you hit *6 or raise your hand and Joe can see you and let you in. Anybody out there on the floor right now? Terry, please. Please state your name and address for the record.
Terry Brock, Kelmore Drive. Got 2 items I want to talk about. First one is on Willowbrook Road, just as you're heading north off of Elevator. The condos on the left-hand side of the road, all the new ones on the left. It seems that for the past month, they've had a lot of garbage blowing, insulation materials, the big 6-inch stuff blowing over from their side into the ditch. And I know that village trucks go past that area a couple times a week. And I'm wondering if maybe somebody in the village could talk to the property owners or the landlord, or if the village could just go out there and pick up that garbage. It's kind of hard to see it now with all the rain we had today, but the area does kind of look like heck. Also, an item that I brought up a year ago, and you're gonna get sick of hearing about this, but it's the handicap parking in front of Firehouse. Now, I know you've commented back about you're working on it and there's procedures you have to follow. There's 2 signs in front of the Firehouse that say carry out parking. Why can't the village just get a sign that says handicap parking and stick it over the sign that says carry out parking? This has been going on for 13 months. How many other businesses in town can let a violation go this long?
So point out, you do know we striped one out a month or so ago, right?
Pardon?
You do know there's handicap parking in front of the firehouse now, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's striped out about a month ago.
It was.
Yes, sir.
How many spaces?
Just one.
Okay, because I haven't looked lately. Is this permanent or
Yes.
temporary?
Permanent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, good.
Oh, thank you for
Anything else, Terry?
bringing it up.
Nope,
Okay, thank you, sir.
but the garbage on Willowbrook would be nice.
No,
Thanks.
thank you. Okay, any other public comments? Seeing Joe, do we have any hands up out there?
No.
Okay, anyone else from the floor? No. Public comment is now over. Item 5, President's Report. Okay, we got some stuff on our President's Report tonight. I do have a couple items in our President's Report this evening, and we are joined tonight by a number of distinguished guests. Before we bring everyone forward, I would like to take a moment on behalf of the Village of Roscoe to extend our deepest gratitude to one of our residents and valued community partners. Relocating from Sioux City, Iowa over 20 years ago, Mr. Marshall Barkley and his wife chose Roscoe as a place to call home, to raise their family, putting 3 children through Roscoe and Hononegah schools, and to establish their business. Since taking over the Roscoe Pack and Mail in the Prairie Business Center, the Barkleys have never failed to greet their customers with kindness and generosity, something we here at the village have had the opportunity to experience firsthand. As it turns out, they have been helping out even more than we realized. The Barkleys and one of their valued employees, Mrs. Adriana Lake, have been able to identify and prevent no fewer than 10 instances of fraud, preventing our residents and neighbors from being scammed out of a great sums of money, in some cases as much as $20,000. These scammers prey upon the most vulnerable members of our community through attention to detail and true sense of caring. The Barkleys and their team have done us all a great service. These actions have drawn the attention of the Illinois Association of Chief of Police. And tonight our own Chief Evans is joined by Chief Bucci, Vice President of the Association of Police Chiefs, and also the Chief of Police at Algonquin Police Department. I would like to ask Chief Bucci and Chief Evans and the Barkleys to please come forward for a presentation.
Mr. President, thank you for your time. Again, my name is John Bucci. I'm a 3rd Vice President from Illinois Chiefs of Police. As the President said, I just want to read a couple lines in here that are real fitting for this award. What it reads is here: for your commitment, caring nature, and excellence in assisting law enforcement, this special recognition honors your overall service to the community. In the end, it reads here, you are a model for other citizens, and your work has made the community safer and protected many people. Our deepest gratitude. And this is the Outstanding Citizen Award from the Illinois Chiefs of Police.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Look at a picture with the President.
This way. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Really do.
I appreciate the recognition.
Yep, you bet. Thank you. Thank you again to Mr. and Mrs. Barkley and your team. You're a true credit to the Village of Roscoe.
Thank you.
Also, we have the great privilege today in seeing one of our own law enforcement officers be sworn in as the newest sergeant. Officer Caleb Brown joined the police department in 2009, and tonight we will see a continuation of a distinguished career as he takes his next step forward. Chief Evans, would you please bring Caleb forward and swear him in as a sergeant? And Sam, I'm sorry. My apologies.
All right, raise your right hand. I, Caleb Brown, do solemnly swear
I, Caleb Brown, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of sergeant
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of sergeant
of the Village of Roscoe in the County of Winnebago and the State of Illinois according to the best of my ability.
in the Village of Roscoe in the County of Winnebago and the State of Illinois according to the best of my ability.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, please come on up. Get right on up here. Yeah, don't sit back there. Get right on up here and take a picture.
Just want to get one pin again.
Is he bleeding yet?
You guys want to do your photos?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Any of you officers back there want to come up for a photograph?
And we're gonna.
No.
You're done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, nope, I've seen you then. Yep. Had it. 5 years.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I do a family.
Yeah.
Thank you. One more picture.
You want?
Oh, yeah.
And what about the three of you? Chief Stephen.
Chief, step.
Oh,
Whole family?
She's just.
13 years.
That's it, yep.
20 months. Perfect, yeah. We're gonna hold you there. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, please. Please.
Get them all up there.
Do I ask anybody, you guys all good?
So. I have an idea.
Oh, wait, so we split that 2 cameras. Sideways or?
We do a couple options.
Right. What are we? Professional quality. Thank you.
Do the same thing photographer.
We're all good?
So, thanks, everybody. Yeah. No.
Wait, so. All right. Item 6, treasurer's report. Steve?
Bills submitted for approval tonight are expenditure list of $134,710. We have payroll expenses of $111,914, leaving cash on hand after payment of the bills of $8,964,737. We have motor fuel expenses tonight of $6,131, leaving cash on hand in the motor fuel fund of $1,354,580.
Thanks. Have a motion to pay bills? So moved. First by Justin Clark, second by Casey Malaco. Any discussion? Joe, could you call the roll, please?
Dunn,
Yes.
Hutchison,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Heidi,
Yes.
Slack,
Yes. Okay, motion carries 6-0. Steve, could you also give us your dates?
Sure. The year-to-date budget to actual report includes revenues received and expenditures paid through the end of August. We appear to be in pretty good shape due primarily to 3 revenue sources. Sales tax appears will finish the year slightly under last year, but about 300,000 above the amount we had budgeted. Income tax should finish the year a couple $100,000 above last year, and probably about 400,000 above budget. Personal property replacement taxes could be about 200,000 above budget. And that's about 3 times what we received just 2 years ago. So,
Excellent.
and expenditures, it's kind of early to tell exactly where we're going to end up, but payroll expenditures are pretty much right on budget, actually about 3% under budget at this point.
Excellent. I appreciate this, Steve. Okay, item 7. So,
One question, please. We did get the audit. Are we going to have some opportunity to review or hear from someone
I
sometime?
hope so. Mark has sent her an email and she has not responded to him yet. for schedule. I think we will as soon as she gets. Can put it on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item 7.1 consent agenda. There are 3 items under consent agenda. 7.1 approval of August 16, 2022 meeting minutes. Item 7.2 approval of September 6, 2022 meeting minutes. 7.3 approval of suspending the village pandemic emergency staff plan. There are no objections to voting to all these items. They're part of the consent agenda. Is there any? Hearing none. I have a motion.
So moved.
First by Justin Black. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Anthony King. Clerk call the roll, please.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Keen. Yes. Malaco,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
Clock,
Yes.
Dunn. Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 8, motion and resolutions, final action. 8.1, approval of resolution 2022-R60. Approval of final plat 7 of the Prairie Business Center. First reading on 9/6/2022. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Sue Petty. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Michael Dunn. Any discussion? Joe, could you call the roll, please?
Keen. Yes. Malaco,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
Clock,
Yes.
Dunn. Yes. Gustafson.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. 8.2, approval of ordinance 2022-10, amending chapter 95 of the Village Roscoe Code of Ordinances relating to the permitting of special events within the Village of Roscoe as applies to neighborhood garage sales. First reading on 9/6/2022. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Platt. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Michael Dunn. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Malaco,
Yes.
Honey,
No.
Clock,
Yes.
Dunn. Yes. Gustafson
No.
and Keen. Yes.
Motion carries 4-2. Item 8.8, 8.3, approval of resolution 2022-R62, approval of entering into an agreement with Alliance Contractors Incorporated for construction of new sidewalks and ADA modifications to the existing intersection of Paracool Terrace and Montadale Drive, Shepherd Hills, for the bid amount of $117,134,000. But I know, Scott, there's a problem with that dollar amount, so please inform everybody of what that is.
Do we need to make a motion to change?
Well, we will as soon as he gets it out.
No,
I'll put
I
it.
just want to inform you of the correct amount, so a motion will need to reflect the correct
Okay.
amount.
All right.
The bid tabulation and the recommendation letter were correct. The number I pulled from the letter, put on the agenda, the 117,134 was the engineer's estimate. The bid was over at $161,230. That is
$230, right?
$230, 161,230.
Okay. So 8.3, approval of resolution 2022-R62, approval of entering into an agreement with Alliance Contractors Incorporated for construction of new sidewalks and ADA modifications to the existing intersection of Paracool Terrace and Montadale Drive, Shepherd Hills, for the bid amount of $161,250. Is that correct? Okay, and I have a motion.
I would like to amend the motion that we postpone this project until next year when we can get more than one bid. This was $44,000 over the estimate, and it's late in the season. No one's quality of life is going to be significantly impaired or jeopardized by letting this go for 1 year, in hopes that we could get more bids on it next year and something more in line with what the expense is. So I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this project and put it into 2023.
Okay, there's a motion to suspend the project. Is there a second? Say that the motion fails. There is no second. So can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Platt. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy Malaco. Any other discussion? Clerk call the roll, please. Joe, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Joe Paul.
so
My
I'm
apologies.
trying to keep up with these other motions.
So
So
used to
this
saying
is gonna
what?
be, who is the first on this, Malcolm?
Justin
Justin
Plotz.
Black. Second was Stacy Malico.
All right. Cuddy,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hutchison,
No.
Keen,
Yes.
and Malcolm.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-1. Okay, new business. Terry, this is gonna help answer your question, okay? First of all, I would like to take a moment to introduce everyone to our new code enforcement community development officer, Mr. Vic Wilder. Would you please stand? As you know, Mr. Wilder brings with him over 20 years of experience and a stellar reputation in his field. He is truly an exceptional hire. We are fortunate to have him join our family here in the village of Roscoe. Vic, I understand you've hit the ground running. I met you today at staff meeting. Thank you. And just so you know, Scott is that's your supervisor, but we're all telling you to go out, address that situation that Terry's got going on out there with that garbage. It's okay. Sound good? Yes. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Terry, I think we'll take care of that for you tomorrow.
All right.
All right. 9.1 under new business, approval of resolution 2022-R61, approving and entering into an agreement with Lane Lighting and Decor LLC. The purchasing and installation of permanent LED lighting around the roof line perimeter of Village Hall and Roscoe Police Department for the amount not to exceed $22,000. The quoted price is $21,287. Move forward from the committee of the whole with no recommendation, but vote was 3-3. This next item received a vote on that part. So is there a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
So first by Stacy Malico, there's a second by Justin Plock. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have one thing.
Sure, absolutely.
On my iPad, it said that invoice got said $22,743.06.
So that, as we discussed at the last meeting, that proposal, I didn't have them reissue the proposal,
Okay,
but that included both sales tax, which we don't pay, and a credit card
yes,
convenience fee. So those taken off, bring it to just on 21,6 something, and I just.
That's how we came to that.
Not to exceed 22.
yeah, I understand.
Okay. Joe, could you call the roll, please?
Is this some?
This is the motion to suspend the rules.
Suspend the rules, yes.
Black,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hutchison,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Cuddy,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Seeing as how we suspended the rules, now I have a motion to approve. So moved. First by Stacy Malico, second by Anthony King. That was you, right, Tony?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Black,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hutchison,
No.
Keen,
Yes.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Cuddy,
No,
Motion carries 4-2. Okay. Item 9.2, discussion and recommendation regarding the solicitation of competitive bids for collection of residential refuse, recycling, bulk waste, yard waste, and for billing services associated with the same. Folks here real quick, I know there was a memo sent out and stuff. We had some conversation last meeting in regards to that. This is just one of the things that, we have to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. And I think it's in our best interest to put this out to bid and see what comes back, and then we can adjust accordingly from there. So,
Can we have a general conversation here about the scope of the bid? I would like to,
Carol,
no, yes,
hold on.
Yes,
There's some,
hang
there's some guidelines.
I understand.
Mike.
I understand that. I wasn't going there.
All right.
You didn't give me a chance.
Right.
I would like, when this goes out, if at all possible, that we identify a cafeteria type of program where the homeowner can pick and choose what services they want in order to control the costs. For example, garbage collection at a base fee. And for some people, trash collection may be, or yard waste may be important. Or for others, recycling may be important. So I would like to see, if it's at all possible, where the homeowner can pick and choose, in addition to the basic garbage collection, that there be a separate fee for recycling, a separate fee for yard waste, a separate fee for bulk items. Because not all of us avail ourselves of all 4 of those items every single week. And then also included in this cafeteria, of course, is the billing, with the option that people would be able to save on the billing if they can pay 6 months in advance, if they so choose, or a year, so that they're not dinged each month. So I would like to see those, as well as a choice in the size of the receptacle, if that also impacts the quote, because not everyone needs a giant one. Some people may need different sizes. So I'd like to give the residents as much choice as they can in controlling their individual costs. And also the opportunity to opt out if they wish, because some people may decide they want to do that.
Okay, well, we have an ordinance in place that says they can't opt out. But everything that you pretty much said was everything that was discussed.
I agree, if I may, I'm sorry. I think doing an à la carte sort of selection is smart. I do fear that will drive, if the more we allow things to be at the residents' discretion, selecting different total sizes, things like that. I fear that will likely drive prices up. I think the more we move away from uniformity, where every single person is getting the exact same thing dropped out, and the more they have to customize and monitor accounts, I fear that'll drive costs up a little bit, but we don't know until we ask. My biggest concern, and it's common to see, it's not unusual to see yard waste tacked on as an additional fee. It's not unusual to see any form of bulk collection excluded from the normal bill and only done as additional cost. That's something. I'll share a concern that making recycling optional is just going to have people put their recycling in the garbage. And we need to, and that's problematic because those materials aren't allowed at the landfill right now.
Although I will expand just a touch on what you just said. Part of these bids, when they go out though, there could be such a thing as every other week recycling with a larger gondola for that case. So that is going to be an option as well. I would expect. So we've had that conversation. But yeah, pretty much everything that you kind of listed out there, we've had conversations.
And in general, a length of a contract.
Yeah, not just a length, but also a lot of people's contracts, as I mentioned in one of those memos, build in, a price adjustment schedule for a number of years moving forward. So maybe it's frozen for 3 years and then move our escalators. But like I mentioned, most people have them with guardrails. So a minimum and a max. So it's based upon the Midwest Consumer Price Index annual adjustments, but with maybe a minimum of 1.75%, a maximum of 3 or 3.5%.
Which we really can't have that conversation until we see what comes back, really. Right?
No, but we can dictate the terms in our request. We can say, here's what we're putting, here's the contract, here are the terms, here's what your here's what your extensions will be. And then they, I suppose, factor that in their pricing. But we can dictate that. My biggest concern is just about the a la carte recycling. And if you'll indulge, just let Joe and I research that a little bit more and see how that may or may not complicate it.
Right.
I know we would like to steer people to do the right thing environmentally, but when it comes down to what the cost is, and a lot of people don't, as it is.
Yeah.
My household, I'm unsuccessful in training my husband to put things in the recycle bin. So
Right now,
Constantly.
we can allow, our ordinance does dictate that people are obligated to have their waste collected, and they're obligated to use the the one that is competitively bid. Obviously, we do that because if everyone could just pick their own, we'd have multiple garbage trucks on multiple days, and that's increasing the inconvenience and increasing the vehicle load on the streets. We do allow discretionary opt-outs right now. That mechanism is in place, and we have exercised that. I think we should be, I would caution us against taking the position that garbage collection is optional, like carte blanche optional. I don't think I can't even remember. I feel there's unforeseen consequences to that.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
But there may be some individual, dire straits for.
Sure.
someone
We
just-
don't need them burning it in their backyard
Right, well.
or front yard.
When this created a bookkeeping nightmare, I mean, we don't do the billing. And part of our bid that we put out, that's gonna be included, which increases the cost. It would make it that much more difficult to even raise the
I
price.
can figure it out. What do you see as a time frame for doing this?
Very quickly.
So I'm gonna respectfully try to request that someone approve a special meeting next week. Only because you'll see that the grant resolutions are not on the agenda. Those need to have specific project costs and our potential obligation as part of the resolution. And we're just not quite there yet. Obviously, the clock is ticking. But perhaps the 27th, a week from today, we might, even if we did it virtually, but perhaps a special meeting to approve those resolutions. I'll challenge Joe and I to try to make all the revisions to the RFP for the garbage by that date as well. Man, we gotta get it out. So I'm saying maybe next Tuesday already.
The grant writing has to be done by the.
And 2 of them are by the 30th, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Well, 3, because as directed, I'll do 1 for legal too.
Okay, so someone make a motion to have a meeting set for next Tuesday, which is the 27th at 6:30 p.m.
I need a motion for that.
You know,
And do we have all the information we need for the options you want to use?
No,
So we need to discuss, I guess.
right. So
So-
for sure, I want to have this meeting. I can promise you, the reason we're having it is for the resolutions of endorsement for the grant applications. And we will try to get the garbage RFP on it as well.
I mean, does anybody have, I guess we need some discussion from the board or recommendations from the board right now for what you're looking for in this. I mean, we sort of talked some of the options and the things that are out there. I mean, what are your preferences for this? Is it all,
what we need.
a la carte? Probably not. I mean, I appreciate the thought, but I think it maybe does increase the price, but yard waste, is yard waste something that we make a la carte?
Well, we got a heck of a deal last night with the yard waste. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah.
Do we want to do every other, I think one of the proposals we've been sort of hearing about is every other week recycling. Is that something the board is interested in doing? Do you want us to put out every week recycling? Are you okay with us putting
I think
out
we need to see the adjustment.
both of
See
them?
if what every week is and what every other week is. Okay. And we also need to see what the yard waste, carve out is. It's very important. And then we all know like the refrigerators, the stoves, or someone ripping out their carpet, all the other stuff that comes along with playing with that, that's extra above and beyond what goes in the gondolas. So there's also that as well.
For the toter size, Trustee Gustafson, I wonder what you think about if we still made 96 gallons a standard, but wrote in there that they had to, if a resident requested 35. Some of our senior citizens have expressed difficulty movement and using those. So that if they request a 35 gallon instead, that they would be obligated to provide that. But still make 96 the default, but say they have to approve requests for 35 when made.
Would the same thing hold then for the every other week recycling? Because I mean, a big tote of recyclables is just as hard to move.
I agree. No, I think that in each case, 96 gallons will be the default, and we tell them that they have to acknowledge, they have to honor requests for 35.
This is anecdotal, but what I observe in my subdivision, very few people avail themselves of the yard waste. So And I've asked people which they prefer, and it yard waste or recyclables, and it comes up 50-50. But if it is standard to have the yard waste carved out as an additional cost that someone could subscribe to, you do that. Again, it gets back to the homeowner being able to control monthly costs.
Another variable that we have is right now we have unlimited, and not everyone does. You can put unlimited amount of garbage out to the curb.
It's also something to keep in mind.
It's a variable.
It'll be limited with some of the bids that we get back, I guarantee you.
Bulk item seems like one that we could make bulk items
Extra charge.
extra by call only. And I'm only saying, look, we have a great garbage contract, and we have, it is. And I'm worried, as we now know, that's not gonna hold. That number that we had before is not gonna hold. It's nowhere close to what our surrounding communities are paying. That was kind of a unicorn deal. It was great. So we know that it's gonna go up. And I guess to what extent do we try to mitigate how much goes up by reducing some of this kind of first rate scope of services?
And even the Christmas tree collection, that's got to be minimal. That can't be,
I don't,
that can't have much of an impact,
that's nominal.
but that could be something dropped.
I guess what,
Well, those are all conversations that we can have.
if you'll let Joe and I to try to draft this, and we'll send it off for your review, and then
Real quick though, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but as far as next Tuesday's meeting, you all good with 6:30? You want to move the time?
6:30.
6:30 is fine. You want to do 6?
It works for me.
Yeah, 6:30. Everybody good at 6:30? Okay, 6:30 it is.
thank you.
Don't forget about posting the agenda.
Yeah. So then what I'm hearing on this agenda item is to proceed with solicitation of bids to bring back a bid package for your review and approval. Right?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Very good.
Do you need a motion for that, Joe?
I don't think, I just think that is direction.
All right, sounds good to me. Okay, so item 10, old business. Brandon, are you on? Thank you, Beverly.
I am. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you please give us an update on our various capital projects?
Yep, will do. So I'll start with our three main design projects that we're still working on. There's no major updates since the last meeting on the Main Street project, aside from we're continuing to work on the design of the separate pedestrian bridge that was awarded a few months ago by the council. I'm sorry, by the board. More specifically, the hydraulic analysis, because we know that we have such a long lead time with IDNR. The Willowbrook Road project. I have confirmed with our design team that IDOT still is reviewing the traffic impact analysis that we have submitted to them. That was submitted a while back. It just sounds like that we're waiting in line for their review team IDOT's review team to review that. Once we get that approved TIA, we will then move that into the intersection design study, the IDS, and submit that, but we cannot submit the IDS until we get an approved TIA. The Love Road project. You might recall at the last meeting in August, I gave an update saying that we received additional IDOT comments after we received some tollway review comments. We had to resubmit on those, and we resubmitted those a few weeks ago, and we actually got additional review comments during the first week of September. So our team has worked on those, and we will be resubmitting once again to IDOT for approval this week. And that's on the intersection design study. Shepherd Hill Sidewalk project, as you guys know, that was just awarded here at this meeting. So we will work with the contractor to get them contracts and then get a pre-construction meeting scheduled ASAP. The Public Works parking lot project, we have sent contracts off to the contractor, and we are waiting for them to return. I did touch base with the contractor, and they said we should be able to see those this week. Once we do that, we will set up a pre-construction meeting and start with construction right away. The MFT project, that's the frontage road reconstruction. We received contracts back from the contractor today. I actually picked those up and Mark signed the contracts just right before the meeting. So I have tentatively set a pre-construction meeting with the contractor for next week. We're looking at more than likely Tuesday on that. So they will submit a schedule and then the contractor will be starting on that project here in the next few weeks. So Fairgram will handle getting notifications out to all of the businesses along the frontage road and working with the staff to get everything uploaded onto social media. The residential streets project, that was completed a couple of months ago, actually, coming up on I think 7 or 8 weeks. Still waiting for the contractor to review my quantities and approve of all of our measurements. They've had a few discrepancies that we've worked out, but we're still waiting on a fully approved pay application with the contractor. And then once we get that, I will be submitting that to the board for final approval to close that project out, hopefully at the next meeting. The Porter Park project, that parking lot is completely done. It has been paved, striped. I should say substantially complete. All of the major items are completed. There are some minor punch list items that I would like to have the contractor address and they've been notified about, just some restoration things. But other than that, the project looks good. Feel free to drive down there and take a look if you have not seen it already. And finally, the Public Works Building Addition. That construction has been going on for the past couple of months. Building is up. And there was a small break in the contractor's schedule. They were waiting on insulation to get delivered, which I believe got delivered yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So the contractor will be working on that and then ultimately hoping to pour the concrete slab floor here in the next week or two. So that project is going along great. Haven't had any major hiccups. And those are my reports on all of the capital projects. Again, if anybody has any questions about any of the projects specifically, feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Business.
Old business, we're still under it.
I have something. Sure. I did go out and take a look at the parking lot. It looks great, but I also took advantage of the opportunity to walk around Porter Park cabin itself. I am mortified, embarrassed, horrified by the lack of maintenance to that building. You spent $22,000 on lighting. That building is being allowed to deteriorate. It needs to be cleaned, power washed, whatever, stained. Mushrooms are growing out of some of the logs. There are gaps all over. Window screens are broken. The air conditioning is dirty. It looks terrible. So I would like that we address this and get an estimate from whatever professional organization can go in there, clean it, do whatever is necessary, stain it, restore it. Let's maintain what we have.
Okay.
Oh,
what?
Really go to Porter Park that much. But yeah, I'm sure we can address all those issues. Absolutely. Some of it, I'm sure our own people can.
No, I'm happy.
address.
I'd like to hire as much of it as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about some of the little stuff.
I mean, even the air conditioner is.
We can definitely get someone out there power washing and all that kind of stuff. I used to own a log home. I have to tell you that.
A lot of maintenance.
I actually owned my own staff.
A lot of maintenance there, and it's just been too long ignored.
And yeah, it takes a lot. We will definitely jump into that. Anything else under old business?
Oh, yes. Can we not have our staff that reports to us attend physically? We've suspended our pandemic rules. The president has decided we are or we're not, blah, blah, blah. Can we not have staff here? As much as we all enjoy the voices from afar, it would be great to see our people again.
You want to make that mandatory?
Voluntary, if they wish to appear,
And that's what we did.
if they wish to appear, it would be great to see them.
And that's what we did. So majority of them like to stay at home and trust the situation, because very seldom do we ever call on them. So we left it up to them. They are here. We need them for something, to ask questions or whatever.
I think budget's the perfect time to bring everyone back together to
Sure.
engage in that robust conversation.
Most definitely.
Robust.
Most definitely. So, yeah, so that's not an issue there for budget talks, that's for sure. We done with old business then? Item 11, public comment. Anybody for public comment? Joe, do we have any hands up? No. Okay, public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 12, executive session. We don't have to go to executive session for anything this evening. Item 13, motion for adjournment. First by Justin Fox, second by Michael Dunn. Joseph, call the roll, please.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hutchinson,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
Yes.